Welcome to What's Up Wichita. We're here with host Mayor Brandon Whipple. Today, we're joined by Wayne Bell, District Director for the Wichita Office of the U.S. Small Business Administration. If you have a question for the mayor, email them to social@wichita.gov and he'll answer them on next month's show.
Hi, this is Mayor Brandon Whipple, and I am here with my friend, Mr. Wayne Bell, who is the District Director for the Small Business Administration here in Wichita. Mr. Bell, how are you today?
Pretty good. How are you, Mayor?
I'm doing all right. Just still in quarantine, trying to keep everyone in the office safe. Glad that you were able to come on our show, even though we're doing a little different than normal. And wanted to just introduce our viewers really to the SBA and the services your organization provides. So first, could you just, for those who might not know, give us a rundown of what the SBA does?
So we're the U.S. Small Business Administration. We're a federal agency established in 1953, all around the mission of helping entrepreneurs or existing business owners to go about, moving forward in business. We have a host of resources and resource partners that we work with to help, again, entrepreneurs that may want to start a business to do that in an informed fashion. Also to help existing business owners that may want to expand, whether that be through government contracting or exporting. We're here to help navigate that. And then we're probably best known for our different loan programs and the ways that we can support businesses through access to capital or with access to capital. One other aspect of the SBA that in the last 6 months that has really come into play is our disaster assistance resources. Obviously, with the Paycheck Protection Program and the economic injury disaster loans, we've really been front and center in our nation's effort to help support our economy and small businesses through the pandemic. So that's kind of in a nutshell all the things we do. One other thing I would add in there is we help businesses that want to contract with the federal government. We've got programs that we have oversight of under the umbrella of federal contracting. And so we work very closely with contracting officers and various agencies, as well as, again, small business owners that want to contract with the federal government. So that's another big aspect of what we do.
And really, your experience with the federal government has just been such a resource for here in Wichita with our Small Business Council. For those who don't know, early on this year, I appointed a small business advisory council to the mayor to try to get our collective minds wrapped around the changes that COVID were having on our economy and particularly on small businesses. Mr. Bell has just been incredible when it comes to navigating the different programs at the federal level and the local level and the county level, of course, and about making those programs make sense so that small businesses can actually take advantage of them. When we see Congress back in action, hopefully, either the next few months remaining of this session or next year, and we anticipate probably some action that will help small businesses. For those who aren't sure how to navigate these waters, should they reach out to the SBA, or what is the best advice you can give them?
Yeah, thank you, Mayor. And the first thing, too, I want to say is a big thank you to you for inviting me to be a part of your Small Business Advisory Council. It's been very educational for me because, as you know, it helps us to stay aware of the challenges that these business owners are navigating. And perhaps, there certainly have been opportunities for me to share information, but I've learned a lot from that group as well. And so I would say the best place to start for business owners or anyone looking for more information on the SBA, best place to start is our website, which is sba.gov. And right at the on the landing page there's information on COVID resources. So our disaster assistance resources, and just anything that we have in terms of our programs and services for business owners, you're going to be able to find right there, whether you're looking for local resources, and if so, you would put in your zip code or your city, in this case, Wichita, and you'll see all of our locally funded partners funded by the SBA that we work with. And that includes the small business development centers at Wichita State and other campuses around the state, as well as SCORE, which is a national nonprofit that does business counseling and mentoring services. They're funded in part by the SBA. And then we've got some other resources, women's business centers. The closest women's business center for us is over in Overland Park. And then we've got a network of veterans resource centers. There are 22 nationwide, and the center that supports our area is in St. Louis. But anyway, you can find our local resources there at the website, sba.gov, and that would probably be the best place to start. You can certainly contact our local district office. We have a commitment to get back in touch with anyone that contacts us within 24 hours. Obviously, with COVID, I've got half of our team, or a good majority of our team right now, is working remotely. And so we're kind of navigating that. I think the best way to reach us with a pretty quick turnaround is going to be either through the website, by email, or again, you're welcome to call.
So, and that kind of leads me to my next question, where, I think we have a lot of folks right now who are interested in these type of programs that COVID has really kind of forced us to, as a governing body, right, at the state level, at the local level, and also at the federal level, to enact. And you guys help navigate, and that is huge. But also, one of the things that we know is we have a lot of folks who are furloughed right now, kind of on the sidelines on unemployment, while the economy is responding to COVID. And some of those folks might be thinking about starting a business. We do know that people usually start a small business when they're out of work. That's when, a time when you kind of think and follow your dreams of owning a small business. For those people who might be watching the show and have an idea or have a direction they want to go in a small business, but not sure where to start, what would you say to them?
Well, I'd say, number one, you're exactly right. A lot of times what happens is just through disruption and necessity, there are a lot of opportunities that emerge. And so we're seeing business owners pivot. We're seeing entrepreneurs create, in spaces where perhaps there weren't very many competitors. I'll give you an example. Things like personal protective equipment. How many different entities now are making masks and shields and various dividers and partitions, all for all really as a direct result of COVID. And so a number of new businesses and new opportunities have been created. And so I would recommend that anyone who wants to learn how to navigate this, maybe if they're putting together a proposal where they need funding or they're trying to put together a business plan, you could start with, again, our website. We've got, again, those partners I just mentioned that can help you in putting together those plans. SCORE is a great resource if you're working on a business plan. The Kansas Small Business Development Center is another great resource. The difference there is the Kansas Small Business Development Center has probably a few more academic tools and research tools that can help if you're kind of working and trying to get through, let's say you're looking at a particular industry and you want to know how many competitors are in the Wichita area, that sort of thing. The Kansas Small Business Development Center can really help you with that business research that you would need to either substantiate your plan or to add, information to go into your plan. And so two great resources there. You can get to both by visiting our website and navigating local resources.
So your website's not just a place to find out what the SBA does, but also kind of a one-stop site to find other resources that other organizations also provide.
Absolutely. We've got educational tools on our website, links again to our local partners, local resources. We've got funding information. So if you're looking for, financing, or you want to get connected to a lender, there's a tool that we have called Lender Match. You basically the business owner or the entrepreneur would, more or less answer a few questions about what their proposal or what their project is they're looking to fund. And there are lenders that have already kind of populated information and in terms of where geographic location they're looking to do business or get matched, with potential borrowers, industries perhaps that they may be looking to support. So if you use the Lender Match tool, you can get matched with funders who, may be able to provide funding or financing for your project. And so, yes, our website has a lot of great tools, good information. There's more information, again, about government contracting in general. That's an area right now for me, Mayor. I'm really wanting to elevate the opportunities that go with government contracting, because just in our state on an annual basis, we contract federally about $1.5 billion annually just in Kansas. And that's everything from military vehicles and construction projects that are either on Fort Riley, Fort Leavenworth, McConnell, on down to office supplies for offices like ours here at the SBA. So there's a lot of purchasing that's done by the federal government, and I don't see good representation of local small businesses that are in that arena. So we want to do everything we can. And by the way, there are significant projects that are federally funded that are coming up here on the horizon, just locally. As an example, the Wichita Airport Authority has projects for the next 3 years, airport improvement projects. And I know that here shortly, they're going to be actively recruiting or raising awareness of these projects and the opportunities. I believe there's a industry fair. There's a kind of a business matchmaker that's on the horizon for the city of Wichita, December 10th. And apparently, City of Wichita Contracting Division is going to be having these virtual matchmaking programs. And I think those would be really good opportunities for business owners who perhaps are situated, to do work on any of these projects, to learn more about what's going on there.
So that could be a huge opportunity for some of our small businesses. At the city level, we are working to, make our pool of people we do business with larger, right? Like we've been, Councilmember Johnson does a great job really using social media to push out opportunities for local companies to bid on different services that the city provides. And what you're talking about is ensuring that we can get Wichita businesses to get a bigger piece of that federal contract, right? A bigger piece of, these federal dollars.
Right.
And those 2 sessions, could you just say those dates again? And they're going to be online, I assume, because of COVID. Is that correct?
Absolutely. December 10th for the airport improvement projects and broadly the City of Wichita projects that are on the horizon. There's kind of a business matchmaker that the contracting division for the city is putting together. There's another large project that's worth noting as well, and it's the Wichita Waterworks project. And the Wichita Waterworks projects, and they can find out about that at wichitawaterworks.com. I know that group, I just had a recent conversation with representatives from Burns and McDonald, and they are actively looking for small suppliers who can do various projects or who can support various projects as a part of that, that work. That project, as you know, Mayor, is approximately $400 million over, I believe, a 3 or 4 year period. And so both of these opportunities, the waterworks project as well as the airport improvement projects, those are really great opportunities for firms that may be situated, to compete and perform some of that work. So I strongly recommend that firms get familiar with these things. And if you don't have any other information, you can reach out to our district office, and I'm happy to direct you back to the information on those projects.
Yeah, those would be amazing opportunities, and it's so great that we have these opportunities coming up, as well as the workshops to learn how to take advantage of those opportunities. As a legislator, I always supported legislation that tried to hire local, try to hire people within the state of Kansas, or within the community in which the work was being done, particularly when it comes to government taxpayer money, because you get that multiplier effect, right? Like, we're not just buying a water plant, but also we could be supporting our local economy and creating more jobs by hiring someone local. So that's some really great resources, and we appreciate the work you guys are doing over the SBA. And we're also, for the viewers, we will make sure to utilize our City of Wichita social media accounts to push this information out as well. The more people who I think respond to these opportunities, probably the better the chances are that we can hire local businesses and really keep that money here. So, Mr. Bell, is there anything else you want to tell us about the SBA?
Again, we're here to help. We really had, I think, a year that has been challenging for all of us. We're certainly, in the middle of a pandemic that, has impacted a lot of business. Virtually every small business, not only small businesses, nonprofit organizations and others that have been eligible for our disaster assistance. We've heard from, a number of businesses in the past 6 months. We've been able to support, I believe, approximately $5 billion through the Paycheck Protection Program over, that 6-month period, which was amazing. We also were able to support a number of entities through the economic injury disaster loans, those EIDL loans. We continue to receive questions about the EIDL loans because that application portal is still live. So businesses and nonprofits and ag-related entities can apply for those loans, and they're still doing that. So we're getting a lot of questions and that sort of thing. From other resources, again, the technical assistance that's needed to navigate or put together the supporting documents or your plans for those loan proposals, reach out to us. We've got that great network of resource partners that's available to help. And so I just want to say, a big thank you again, Mayor, to you, your team. Appreciate all the collaboration, and anything we can do to help, please continue to let us know.
Yeah, of course. We're all in this together, and Wichita does better when our small businesses are doing well, and also when people have choices on where to spend their money and where to work. So, sorry, that's my kid coming out of his remote learning. So if you hear anything in the background, that's him. But this is our new COVID life until we get through this. But Mr. Bell, I just absolutely appreciate you not only just being on this show so we can let more folks know the services that your organization provides, but also with the Small Mayors Council or the Small Business Advisory Council to the mayor. For folks who might have just heard this and want to know really what we're up to, you can go to the City of Wichita's YouTube page, and all those meetings are uploaded. They're right there, and some of the meetings, Mr. Bell really kind of led to let us know about the ins and outs of some of these programs that we've seen. Some of them active, some of them are not active anymore. But we've seen with the response to COVID, and like I said, I will probably see some more response from COVID, so it might not be a bad idea to check back on some of those videos. And again, so we really appreciate everything, not only that you do, but your organization does for our community. And thank you again for being on with us.
All right. Thank you, Mayor. And look forward to talking to you soon. I think we have one of those meetings here coming up pretty quick.
Yes, we do. I think I'll talk to you probably tomorrow. So
that's right.
Thank you so much.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Take care.
Mm-hmm.
So Mayor, we did source some questions from the community, and I'm going to do my best not to butcher their names. Our first question is from Christopher Carpentier. Sorry, Christopher, if that is not the correct pronunciation. And his question is that Sedgwick County has reported more than 1,870 new cases of COVID, with daily positive percentages exceeding 20%. Our hospitals are at capacity, but people are still going out to eat, trick-or-treating, and wearing their masks inappropriately. And this question is from a few days ago, but his question is, why have there been no new restrictions? The county obviously came out with a new mask order, but what is your take on the county's new restrictions that they just came out with?
It's a really good question. If you're following this, if you read the local news or follow on television, COVID has just been exploding right now in our community. We were really far ahead as Wichita goes to comparable cities. And then I think two things happened. One, we knew the numbers are going to go up as it got colder and people were more indoors because this thing spreads easier when you're indoors and you kind of breathe in the same air. But also, I think that we might have got a little lax when it came to mask wearing, particularly around family events or gatherings with people that we are close with. We are hearing from the hospitals that a lot of people let their mask down, and what happened was folks who are in that vulnerable group, people who are 55, 60 and over, and even people who have underlying health conditions, they're winding up in the hospital because of this. So you're right. As of now, our hospitals are nearly at capacity. They have a couple of levers they could pull to salvage maybe a few more beds, but also this takes staff as well. And a lot of the staff, because we have full-on community spread at this time, they are they're also quarantined. They're also some of them testing positive for this. So to your question about what are we doing, pretty much, really the county commission and their top health official, who Dr. Menz, they're in the driver's seat. They serve as a board of health, and they also have the resources with the medical expertise in the testing to really have a better understanding of what not only the positive rates, but also where those are coming from. And they're in better communication with our healthcare community. So we just had a public health order come down, and it is going to require masks. Masks have always been required, by the way, through the county's order, even though here at the city level, our mask ordinance did expire. And the reason why it expired was because we are now under the county's order, which is now a mandate. So it's just as strong of a mandate as the city's was. And we also are going to see some changes in, for example, capacity, how much folks can be in one indoor area at a time for businesses. And this might not be the end of it. We have to knock these numbers down so it's safe again here in Wichita. And to do that, we're going to see more orders coming down from the county government. So my role in this, I don't sit on the county commission, and I think a lot of people think that the mayor does COVID policy because in some other states the mayor does. Over in Kansas City, Missouri, the mayor's in charge of COVID policy. Here's the county commission. But my job is to, pretty much sit in the passenger seat and complement what their efforts are. So what I can do is utilize my outreach on social media, on our press conferences, on stuff like this, to talk about what these are in these orders and why it's important. And by doing that, we can encourage more Wichitans to, put their guard back up and get back into this fight. We beat this thing back before. Like there was a time when we were in single digits, and right now we are over 20% testing with our hospitals at capacity. We can do it again. We just got to tell people that we're in a bad time right now, and we got to keep our guard up until probably for a few more months, to be honest. We're rounding the corner here as far as towards the end, but we can't slow down. And so in doing that, my job is to ensure that I talk about this problem honestly, even if it's stuff that people don't want to talk about, even if people really are sick of this topic, but also discuss what gets us out of it, which is following the healthcare orders and really keeping our guards up. At this point, everyone knows what they have to do to slow the spread of COVID, and we just got to get back to doing it. And we have to make sure that when we start getting into our family meetings, this winter when it comes to get-togethers because it's cold out, that we are protecting those we love and not putting them at risk. One of the things about the coronavirus that makes it unique is it is highly, highly contagious, even when you have no symptoms at all. So right before you start feeling sick, this thing is already contagious, which is different than other viruses that we're used to.
Okay, all right. Well, that's all we have. Thank you for answering those questions. And anyone who has questions, please email social@wichita.gov, and we'll try to fit you in on next month's show.
Definitely, or send a video. If you send a video with a question, we will put it up on our show. Just make the question short to the point, and we will definitely put it up on the show. So please feel free to send a video at social@wichita.gov. Thanks for watching this episode of What's Up Wichita.